So today we are going to be learning about integer story problems. So we'll be using addition and subtraction with positive and negative numbers. So our problem says, at 6 p.m. the temperature was -4 degrees Fahrenheit. By 9 p.m. the temperature had decreased by 6 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the temperature at 9 p.m.? Write the equation and solve. So we're trying to figure out what the temperature was at 9 p.m. And don't be tricked because it says by 9 p.m. the temperature had decreased. Don't just assume the answer is 6, because it's not. We need to think of what the temperature was at 6 p.m. It was -4. And then what happened at 9 p.m. It says 9 p.m. the temperature had decreased by 6. This means we're subtracting by 6. It doesn't mean that it went -6 degrees. It means that we're decreasing, subtracting by 6. So we have -4 minus 6. You could solve this as -4 minus 6. We have two negative numbers because that subtraction sign means negative. And we're going to get even more negative. So we can have just 6 plus 4 is 10 and keep our negative sign. So our answer could be -10. Or you can do keep, change, change. So it would be -4 plus, change that to an addition sign, and change this to a -6. So we have -4 plus -6 gets you -10. Okay, so our next problem is the Dead Sea's deepest part is 799 meters below sea level. A plateau to the east of the Dead Sea rises about 1,340 meters above sea level. What is the difference between the deepest part of the Dead Sea and the top of the plateau? So let's think of our numbers. Remember when we practiced writing integers, we wrote the integers first and then solved problems. So the Dead Sea's deepest part is 799 meters below sea level. So deepest. And how do we write that if it's 799 meters below sea level? Think about how you write below. The -799. And then this is the top of the plateau is our next part. And that's our next number. The plateau to the east of the Dead Sea rises about 1,340 meters above sea level. We write that as 1,340. It's positive. It's above sea level. What is the difference between the deepest part of the Dead Sea and the top of the plateau? So when the difference means subtraction. So we'll be subtracting these two numbers. So when we subtract, we always start with our biggest number. So we have 1,340 minus the deepest part, -799. Now remember, whenever you are subtracting by a negative number, it's like adding a positive. Or you can think of keep, change, change. You'll turn this into a big plus sign, and it'll be 1,340 plus 799. So we have 0 plus 9 is 9, 4 plus 9 is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 7 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So our answer is going to be 2,139 meters. And that's the distance between that's the difference between our deepest point of the Dead Sea and the top of our plateau. So for our next problem, it says if the temperature starts at 20 degrees Fahrenheit outside, then goes down 14 degrees Fahrenheit, then up 5 degrees Fahrenheit, then down 13, how cold is it now? So I want you to look at this problem. If the temperature starts at 20, so this is our starting number, then goes down 14 degrees Fahrenheit, so subtraction. Then goes up 5 degrees Fahrenheit, then goes down 13 degrees Fahrenheit. How cold is it now? I want you to try and write this problem out and hit play once you've written the problem. I don't need you to solve yet. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so we started with 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we subtracted, we went down 14, plus 5 degrees, and then down 13. So we're going to break this problem up step by step. So we'll start with our first two numbers. 20 minus 14 is 6. Bring down the rest. 6 plus 5, 11 minus 13. And 11 minus 13 is 2. So your answer is negative 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, for our last problem, we're going to read it together and then you're going to try and solve it on your own. At the football game, Brett carried the ball 4 different times. He ran for a gain of 15 yards, a loss of 8 yards, a loss of 3 yards, and a gain of 4 yards. What was the total yardage gained? Write the equation and solve. So, at the beginning of the football game, Brett carried the ball 4 different times. This 4 doesn't really mean anything. It's just telling us how many numbers we're going to be using in our problem. So I'm going to cross this out so I don't even think about that number. Then it says he ran a gain of 15 yards. Think about what the word gain means. It's going to be plus or minus. Plus. So we'll have a positive 15. Then we have a loss of 8 yards, a loss of 3 yards, and a gain of 4 yards. So now I want you to go ahead and set up and solve this problem. And once you have completed that, you can go ahead and hit play. Please pause the video. Okay, let's go ahead and solve our problem. He ran at a gain of 15 yards, so it's a positive 15 plus, moving ahead of myself. So a gain of 15 yards. Then it says a loss of 8 yards, so minus 8, a loss of 3 yards, so minus 3, and a gain of 4 yards, so plus 4. We need to break up this problem, so we'll have 15 minus 8 is 7. Bring down that 3 plus 4. Then we have 7 minus 3, which is 4 plus, bringing down our 4. And 4 plus 4 is 8. So 8 is our answer, and he gained 8 yards. Make sure we're labeling. So now I want you to go ahead and take off your headphones and iPad. You'll be putting them in your desk, and you'll get ready to take your formative assessment.